In the lawless frontier of the Wild West, where danger lurked at every corner and justice seemed a distant dream, one man rose above prejudice and violence to become a legend. His story has faded from history, buried beneath the sands of time, but his spirit remains unbroken. He was a man whose strength and courage shattered barriers, an unstoppable force in a world that tried to break him. With a badge on his chest and a gun at his side, he stood for justice when no one else dared. His name was Bass Reeves, the first black federal marshal west of the Mississippi. Today, we unveil the story of a forgotten hero, a tale of courage, sacrifice, and unwavering resolve that shaped the spirit of the Wild West. A forgotten legend of the Wild West. A strong, unyielding spirit. Standing in the vast wilderness with the blazing sun reflecting off the silver badge on his chest, Bass Reeves, a strong and silent black man, gazed into the distance. The wind swept across the prairie, carrying dust and the faint whispers of nature. His calloused hand rested gently on the grip of his revolver, ready for any danger. People whispered as he walked by, some in admiration, others in fear. A few murmured that he was crazy to stand up for justice in a world filled with prejudice and hatred. But Bass Reeves remained unshaken. He understood the true value of justice. It wasn't about skin color, but about doing what was right. The harsh beginnings. Born in 1838 in Crawford County, Arkansas, Bass Reeves spent his early years under the chains of slavery, living in a shabby hut next to endless cotton fields. Every morning, he would wake before dawn, his small figure trudging behind the adults to the fields. The crack of the whip echoed from afar, accompanied by agonizing cries. Darkness swallowed every dream the young Bass had. He looked at his mother. Her weary eyes would brighten whenever she comforted him after a long day of labor. She always whispered to him, "You are my hope, Bass. One day, you will be free." Those words were like a flicker of light in his soul, nurturing his resilience and will to live. The path to freedom. In 1861, as the sound of gunfire from the Civil War thundered throughout the South, Bass was forced to follow his master to the battlefield as a servant. But one night, when conflict erupted between the two sides, Bass saw his chance. The flickering firelight revealed his master's furious face, and in a sudden burst of courage, Bass grabbed a gun, struck his master down, and fled. He ran through dense forests and crossed the icy waters of the Red River without looking back. Filled with fear and determination, Bass found refuge with Native American tribes in Oklahoma. The Seminole and Creek took him in as family, helping him recover and honing his survival skills. Many nights under the starry sky, he silently practiced shooting, bullets slicing through the air, hitting tree trunks dead center. He learned to track footprints on soft soil, recognize every sound in the deep forest, and tame even the wildest horses. From a fugitive, he transformed into a living legend of the wilderness. Becoming a lawman. When the Civil War ended, Bass Reeves returned from the wild, not as a slave, but as a free man with extraordinary skills. Recognizing the lawlessness in Oklahoma, U.S. Marshal James Fagan approached Reeves with an unexpected offer. "You can do what no one else dares. Capture the most dangerous criminals in this land." Hearing this, Reeves simply nodded. Armed with his familiar pair of Colt revolvers, he embarked on his journey like a storm, unpredictable and unstoppable. A relentless pursuit of justice. Reeves was not only a sharpshooter, but also a master of disguise. In one famous case, he posed as a fugitive to infiltrate the gang of outlaw Jim Webb. With a fake beard, tattered clothes, and a rough tone, Reeves easily gained their trust. One night, when the gang was sound asleep, he swiftly tied them up, leaving behind a single message. Never underestimate a man because of his skin color. Dangerous confrontations followed, but Bass Reeves always survived, sometimes with just a minor wound or a few scratches. Some outlaws feared him so much that they would surrender at the mere mention of his name. A legacy marred by heartbreak. The greatest tragedy of Reeves's life came when he faced a harsh truth. His own son, Benny Reeves, was accused of murder. Torn between love and duty, Bass Reeves personally arrested his son, tears streaming down his stern face. Standing in court, he spoke only one sentence: "Justice is justice. I cannot protect the wrong, even if it's my own blood." That pain haunted him for the rest of his life, but he never abandoned the ideals of justice he had sworn to uphold. A hero never forgotten. Bass Reeves served for over 32 years, capturing more than 3,000 criminals. Even as old age set in, he remained steadfast in spirit. When he passed away, the small town quietly mourned the black hero with an iron will. Today, the story of Bass Reeves is retold through books, films, and historical exhibitions. His legacy stands as a vivid testament to the power of perseverance, overcoming adversity and pain to uphold justice. Let his spirit live on. Bass Reeves symbolizes resilience and courage, a testament to the power of justice beyond race. He lived as a legend and left behind an indelible mark on the history of the Wild West. Let the story of Bass Reeves remind us that no matter how harsh life may be, with faith and determination, we can overcome any challenge. Though his name may not be etched in every history book, Bass Reeves's legacy lives on as a symbol of unyielding courage and justice. His fearless pursuit of righteousness, even at great personal cost, taught us that integrity knows no race and justice knows no boundaries. In a world filled with injustice and oppression, Reeves fought not only to survive, but to uphold the principles he believed in. He did not seek fame or recognition, but his story deserves to be remembered as a beacon of strength and an inspiration to generations to come. As you listen to this tale, let it remind you that true heroes are not always the ones history remembers. Sometimes they are the ones who fight in silence. A trailblazer for future generations. Bass Reeves was not just a legendary lawman. He was a symbol of hope and inspiration for countless African Americans during a time of great oppression and prejudice. As one of the first Black U.S. Marshals west of the Mississippi River, Reeves broke barriers and shattered stereotypes, proving that courage and integrity know no race or color. Throughout his career, Reeves faced unimaginable challenges, not only from ruthless outlaws, but also from those who doubted his abilities solely because of his race. Yet his unyielding determination and unwavering sense of duty silenced his critics. His success laid the groundwork for future generations to rise above prejudice and make their mark in law enforcement and beyond. In the decades that followed, stories of Reeves' legendary exploits inspired countless people to dream beyond the confines of their circumstances. His name became synonymous with justice, bravery, and unwavering commitment. Today, statues and memorials stand in his honor, reminding us of the remarkable legacy of a man who defied the odds to change the course of history. A timeless symbol of justice. Though the world has changed and the Wild West has faded into history, the spirit of Bass Reeves remains timeless. His story continues to inspire new generations to uphold the ideals of justice, courage, and perseverance. Whether in books, movies, or songs, his name endures as a symbol of fighting for what is right, no matter the cost. Let us remember Bass Reeves not only as a legendary lawman, but as a pioneer who broke chains, both physical and societal, and who taught us that justice belongs to everyone, regardless of color or creed. May his legacy serve as a guiding light for those who choose the path of righteousness, reminding us that integrity and courage will always prevail over prejudice and hatred, whose stories wait patiently to be heard and cherished. Thank you for listening to the story of Bass Reeves, the forgotten legend of the Wild West. If you found this story moving, please subscribe and stay tuned for more tales of courage and resilience from history's hidden heroes.